A 10 million peso reward awaits anyone who will step forward and provide credible information that would lead to the arrest of fugitive televangelist Apollo Quiboloy. In a press conference on Monday, Interior and Local Government Secretary Benhur Abalos also announced a 1 million peso reward each for the arrest of Quiboloy's subordinates Crescente Canada, Pauline Canada, Ingrid Canada, Sylvia Semañez, and Jacqueline Roy.
Sila'y pinaghahanap ng mga otoridad dahil sila ay may warrant of arrest na in-issue ang isang korte. Ang kaso nila sa ating mga kababayan ay child abuse, bata, and exploitation, child abuse and exploitation at qualified trafficking. Hindi ho biro ang kasong ito, kaya ito'y walang piyansa, ang sabi ng korte.
On April 3, a Davao Regional Trial Court issued arrest orders against Quiboloy and his 5 subordinates for violating Republic Act 7610 or the Anti-Child Abuse Law, specifically the provision on sexual abuse of minors and maltreatment. Quiboloy's 5 co-accused surrendered to authorities and were granted temporary freedom after posting bail on those charges. On April 11, a Pasig City Court issued a warrant for the arrest of Quiboloy and the others, this time for qualified human trafficking, a non-bailable offense. The Philippines and Japan signed a reciprocal access agreement which will serve as the legal basis for both countries' troops entering each other's territory for joint military exercises. Defense Secretary Gibo Teodoro and Japanese Foreign Minister Kamikawa Yoko signed the agreement in Malacanang on Monday, July 8. President Bongbong Marcos witnessed the signing. The country's reciprocal access agreement with Japan is akin to the visiting forces agreement it has with the United States and the status of visiting forces agreement with Australia. Now that the agreement is already signed, it will then be submitted to the Philippine Senate and Japan's legislature for ratification. Under Article 7, Section 21 of the 1987 Constitution, no treaty or international agreement shall be valid and effective unless concurred in by at least 2/3 of all the members of the Senate. Senate President Cheese Escudero for his part supports the signing of the Reciprocal Access Agreement, counting it as a deterrence to possible conflagration. The agreement comes amid the Philippines' maritime dispute with China after Beijing claimed ownership of most of the South China Sea, including the West Philippine Sea, through its so-called 10-dash line. The Permanent Court of Arbitration has invalidated China's claims and upheld the Philippines' exclusive economic zone through a 2016 arbitral award, but China has consistently ignored the ruling, persistently encroaching on Philippine waters and harassing Philippine ships. China Coast Guard's monster ship has remained near the Philippine Coast Guard's vessel in Escoda Shoal for about 5 days now. According to West Philippine Sea Monitor Ray Powell, the China Coast Guard vessel was spotted about 500 meters away from PCG's BRP Teresa Magbanwa as of Monday, July 8. When asked if the giant China Coast Guard ship was heading closer to BRP Teresa Magbanwa, Powell said the distance seemed constant. China Coast Guard 5901, which is the largest Coast Guard vessel in the world, departed off Hainan Island waters on July 1 before arriving near Ayungin Shoal on July 3. Also on July 3, the giant Chinese ship passed by Mischief Reef before heading towards nearby Escoda Shoal a few hours later. BRP Teresa Magbanwa was deployed in Escoda Shoal on April 16 in response to the presence of Chinese militia vessels and suspected reclamation activities in the area. Beijing asserts sovereignty in almost the entire South China Sea, including most of the West Philippine Sea, even if such a claim has been effectively invalidated by the arbitral award issued in July 2016. Oil companies are set to implement a new round of price increases starting Tuesday, July 9. The prices of gasoline will have the biggest jump this week at 1 peso and 60 centavos per liter. Meanwhile, the prices of diesel will go up by 65 centavos per liter and kerosene by 60 centavos per liter. This marks the 4th week of consecutive hikes. 2 former policemen allegedly shot Pampanga beauty pageant candidate Geneva Lopez and her Israeli boyfriend Yitzhak Cohen over a land dispute, according to the Philippine National Police Criminal Investigation and Detection Group. CIDG Chief Major General Leo Francisco reveals this after presenting suspects Michael Angelo Giang and Romel Abuzo at a press conference.
Yung magnobya ay nagkaroon ng pagkakataon na makipagkita kay Giang. Dahil si Giyang ay may isananlang lupa kay Geneva at gusto nang bawiin ni Geneva ang lupa na kanyang isinanla kay Giyang. In the same manner, sinabi ni Giyang na may buyer din yung lupang sinanla niya. At ipapakilala nga niya kay Geneva itong si Abuso as buyer. From that point, nagkita sila sa Barangay Armenia at binaril ng 2 pulis na ito, na dating pulis na to, ang magkasintahan.
Francisco also says the 2 suspects had planned the killing.
So makikita nyo, it's a planned activity. Nakita nyo na 1 day before sa aming investigasyon ay nag-usap si Giyang at si Abuso tungkol sa gagawin nila sa magnobya na to. So there was that plan of killing itong magnobya na to.
Police are preparing to file murder complaints against the 2 former policemen and others involved in the couple's killing. Giyang and Abuso were earlier arrested in separate operations for violation of the firearms regulation law and possession of an explosive under Republic Act No. 9516. Another suspect, identified as Jeffrey Santos, has also been arrested, while 2 other unnamed persons of interest surrendered to authorities and gave their statements to the police. 2 persons of interest remain at large. CIDG and Tarlac Police recovered the remains of Lopez and Cohen within a quarry site in Barangay Santa Lucia in Capas, Tarlac on July 6, 2 weeks after they disappeared on June 21.